Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Brief reading. Donald Trump started reiterating that Canada should be the 51st state of the United States. And I was listening to a TikTok podcast. Let's see, what's the guy's name here? Steve Seibold. He was an author who's written books like on wealthy people and such. And he had some dire warnings about Donald Trump and the chaos that he sees coming. He basically sees Trump purposely trying to crash the economy, and he was urging people to save up as much money as you can any way you can do it by, going through your closets and attics and selling stuff, cutting down on subscriptions to cable TV, magazines, things along those lines. Picking up a side hustle if you can do that, minimizing contributions to the church, maybe pausing your charitable contributions or retirement contributions on the short term, like within the next 6 to 12 months, because he just sees Trump trying to crash the economy, so he wants people to build up as much wealth as possible. During that, he made a comment where he just kind of off the cuff said, I wouldn't be surprised to hear Trump announce that he wants to invade Canada. And that's going to be the focus of this reading is, Trump's delusional. And, Canada's standing up to him, and he has to dominate. He always has to dominate. He can't capitulate. If he capitulates, it's weakness. And he's terrified of showing weakness because he's a weak person, and weak people are scared of people seeing them for who they are. So, in his current state of delusion, will Donald Trump try to threaten Canada with invasion? We'll call it that. I'm not trying to cause fear or anything like that, but this guy keeps claiming, I know Trump, I know what he's going to up to. It's a possibility. It wouldn't surprise me if Trump threatened to do that to Canada. I think I've already speculated he would do that with Greenland if given half a chance. Why not Canada, other than the fact that Greenland doesn't have many people and Canada does, and he'd have to get past the Canadian geese first, the first line of defense. Something more intimidating than the Maginot Line was ever going to be. And that's for you World War II buffs out there. All right, for entertainment purposes only, Trump's feelings on Canada as they push back against him. The Hanged Man. The picture of this one is like the guy walking through the forest, and he gets caught in a foot snare, and then they just pull him up. And he's dangling upside down from a tree, swinging around, helpless. That's kind of what... Canada has disarmed Trump like nobody's been able to disarm him before. Crossed with the Four of Swords, which is causing Trump to pause as he reevaluates his prey. He doesn't know what to do with Canada right now. Nobody's ever stood up to him before that's had the resources to do it. And it's getting in the way of Trump's plans, or Trump is now planning something. What do I do now? How do I get out of this situation? Trump comes up with this great idea of Canada being the 51st state. This is all, as Justin Trudeau pointed out, Trump wanting Canadian resources, and Canada being the first adult in the room to tell him, no, you're not getting that. Current situation is the King of Pentacles. Trump only sees money. He sees Canada as a money pit, a money vault, and he wants it. He wants the values that they have there, and he can't believe that he's been stymied by the likes of Doug Ford, who used to be called a mini Trumper, but Doug Ford's pushed back. Overarching energy is the Moon card. Yeah, this is like, again, one of those times Trump is confused. He doesn't know what to do. Part of it, Trump is just freaking crazy. But we do have a lunar eclipse coming up this Friday, so maybe this could be an indication that we get some type of announcement on Friday with Canada. But Trump comes up with the tariff stick, and Canada pushes back. So we give you some taste of your own, and Trump's not used to that. Lesson to be learned is the Six of Wands. Canada's winning this tariff war, even though it's barely started. And Trump wants this win. He's a winner. He can't be seen as a loser. And Doug Ford doesn't exactly give him off-ramps to save his ego. Outcome is the Ten of Swords. This could be Trump feeling that if he doesn't get his way, it's the end of it. But I think this is also that petty vindictiveness that Trump harbors towards people that deny him the stuff that he wants. So I could see Trump trying to come up with ways to undermine Canada. Doug Ford, who's the premier of Ontario, which is their largest province, their most populous province. And that's the province that's above the eastern seaboard of the United States. So it's in the eastern time zone. Okay, so it looks like, now, I'm not seeing anything imminent with as far as invasions go, but, Doug Ford basically, Trump's walking around with his chest out, and he just got shoved and knocked back into his chair, and Trump is kind of like, what just happened? Nobody does that to me. And Doug Ford's like, come get some. And the articles were saying that Doug Ford backed off on electrical surcharges on electricity, and then Trump backed off on the 50% tariffs on metals like aluminum and steel. Trump backed off first. And then Doug Ford might have cut him a deal. Say, I'll tell you what, you get rid of those 50% threats, and I'll delay the tariffs on electricity. Buy you some time to come up with something. Trump is being emasculated by Doug Ford. How is Little Ford Carter? How is Trump thinking of Doug Ford right now? He made Doug Ford. He can't believe Doug Ford's not working with them. He, the wealthy man who has plans. Trump's going to make some stuff up. He's either trying to create something or he's going to make up some lies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, here we go. Disappointed Doug Ford, but Doug Ford's got to pay. Doug Ford's getting in the way of Trump's path forward to make him money. Therefore, we need to do something about Doug Ford. Doug Ford can be a metaphor for Canada in general, but there will be retribution, repercussions, actions taken, lies, stuff made up on the spot trying to humiliate Canada and Doug Ford. Okay. Specifically about U.S. troops, is he considering sending the Marines into Canada? Is that anything that's giving even a mildly serious thought to? Now, mind you, Trump cannot send troops to other countries. The Army, the Navy, and the Air Force are governed by Congress. But he does have power over the Marines, which is why a president can send the Marines in first, and then Congress can debate what they're going to do next. So he does have control over the Marines. Will Trump send the Marines into Canada? I gotta stop all that fentanyl from coming over on those illegal moose. Knight of Pentacles. You know what? It's not the Marines per se. The Knight of Pentacles is like mercenaries. He is more thinking about militia groups, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, kind of like what Prigozhin had in Russia, private armies, like the Wagner Group or something like that. He might be looking at, how do I fund mercenaries? Crossed with temperance. If he's voiced this out loud, he's got a strong pushback coming at him saying, you're not doing that. You're not doing that to our neighbors. We are the United States. We do not hire mercenaries. Get this thought out of your head type of pushback. Yeah, he's got people advising him and guiding him, putting him off this idea. I would not be surprised to hear that he looked into getting mercenaries for Canada. Yeah, so Canada's causing him anxiety. He can't be shown as weak, so he's got to try and teach Canada a lesson. Current situation is the Ten of Cups. This is our relationship with Canada has been fantastic. That's why he would probably do mercenary groups or MAGA supporters, basically his own militia type of thing, because then it keeps the U.S. clean on this, but then he can influence Canada. Yeah, and there would be people like, so Canada also has like the Rainbow Bridge and the Freedom Bridge to get over there, and he would have people sneak into Canada to do this. Do some terroristic type attack. This could be like having the MAGA truckers go over there and block the streets of Alberta or something like that. But incursions. I'm getting incursions with that. Quick stuff to happen. Two of Cups, agreements. Is that agreements with Canada or is that agreements with militia type groups? We got Five of Coins, people that are tossed out or a deal's not being made, talking about next actions, people who are great. These are about militia groups. He would be looking for, people who are desperate for money and adventure, and they're crazy in the heads. So I think he's making agreements with militia type groups here. Folks that are willing to travel across, they really feel like they have nothing to lose, and they're devoted MAGA folks or something like that. I don't think he'll send U.S. troops. I think he will instead send in clandestine troops. Gravy seals, as it were. Which, it's funny. He pardoned all his January 6th insurrectionists. And those are the type of people I'm talking about. The delusional, I'll go anywhere Trump tells me to do it because I'm indebted to him and I don't have anything to lose type of thing. So many of those guys are just, they have that personality or that mindset. And for many of them, being thrown in prison or having prison records or becoming felons and losing jobs and friends and family, it snapped them out of that because Trump wasn't grateful for the effort that they put in. And they got to find out in court that President Trump told me to do it wasn't a suitable or adequate legal defense. Will the militia groups, the MAGA faithful, answer Trump's call? Or Carter. Eight of Swords. Some will, some won't. What's that? The World card. Strength card. He has to pay him. The mercenaries will come. Yeah. So the ones that got incarcerated, they're going to think twice about it. Once bitten, twice shy type of thing here. The folks that went to prison don't want to go back. They answered his call the first time, and it's like the payback was too little too late. So he has to come up with a new crop of fanatics in order to do this. Will he go outside the U.S.? He might go outside the U.S. Some people that he has leverage over. Wonder if he'll ask Kim Jong-un for 10,000 North Korean soldiers to send over. I don't think he's going to be very... If he tries this, he's not going to be very successful. Because he's already screwed over his most fanatical stormtroopers. And for many... There would be a few that would answer the call. Don't get me wrong. But the most of them won't. Because they found out who he was. And that was enough to snap the spell for most of them. So if you're worried that the U.S. is going to invade Canada, probably not. It would probably be more, again, I could see the trucker protest type thing going on there than actual armed troops going in and causing problems. At least as I see the energy right now. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.